So welcome back to the channel. We're going to do some cruising and some boozing as we're heading off to Hawaii. So welcome aboard. Let's go see what fun we can get into. So as we set sail for Hawaii, we have 4 days at sea ahead of us before we reach our first port of call. Let's go chase the pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. Well, I guess it's time to grab that first cocktail. So we decided to get us an old-fashioned, both Sherry and I. So we sat down, had our first old-fashioned of this trip. As we set sail through the first few days, the seas, as you can see, were very rough. We had a very rough sailing, and it made it delay us by several hours to get to our first port of call. And that first port of call will be Kauai. So once we arrived here at Kauai, we only had a couple hours due to the weather delay of the rough seas. So we decided to go ashore and see some of the sights. Oh yeah, the roosters, they're everywhere. So we decided let's go to the Lilikoi Bar and Grill and get us a nice beverage and enjoy a beverage for the short time we had in Kauai. And of course, that beverage of choice, the Mai Tai. And we had some coconut shrimp to go along with that. It was delicious, but then we had to head back to the ship for another evening of sailing, but the seas were much calmer and nicer for this evening's sail. After that, we're heading to Honolulu, and here we are in Honolulu. Just arrived, beautiful sunny day to enjoy the beaches of Honolulu. We thought we'd go down the beach to the aquarium in Honolulu, which we stopped there. Not a real exciting aquarium, but we did spend a few minutes there and enjoy that. We decided to stroll along the beach front of Waikiki, see a couple of sights as we're strolling along there. Then we decided to go do the hop-on, hop-off tour bus. That tour bus took us to the other side of the island, where we had beautiful views of the beaches and beautiful day to enjoy. As we continued our tour of more beautiful beaches and lookout areas so that we could see more of the island's beauty, we also had the opportunity to, if we wanted to hop off at the Sea Life Park on the far side of the island. We chose not to get off at that point, but to continue on and see more of the beaches and more of the scenery of the island. Once we got done with that, we headed to Diamond Head Park, where we were able to get some beautiful views of Honolulu from up on the top of Diamond Head. If you've never been there, highly recommend. The views are great. Lots to do at Diamond Head if you like to hike. We, however, did not choose to hike, but we stayed on the tour that eventually took us back down to the city's center, where we got off the tour for the day. So we headed back to the ship for our next port of call ahead, which is Kona. We had to tender to Kona, and once we arrived there, we went to a little beach, and then we went to the Cheeky Tiki, where, of course, we had to indulge, Sherry and I, in some, what else, but the Mai Tai. They were very delicious, well presented, well done. The only thing was when you get done with your Mai Tai, you got to look out for those little plastic mermaids that they placed in the drink. But nonetheless, we sat there, beautiful view, nice, beautiful day, enjoying the Cheeky Tiki and our Mai Tais. So as we finished our Mai Tais, we decided, guess we should have one more. So we went for the Rai Tai, is what it's called, and it's a shared drink. And this, too, was a very good beverage. Highly recommend the Cheeky Tiki. After we finished our Rai Tai, we had to say goodbye to the Cheeky Tiki and head back to the ship. So we boarded the tenders one more time, headed back to complete our day in Kona. Once back on board the ship, we got to enjoy a beautiful sunset on our trip to Hilo, our last port of call for this trip. Upon arrival in Hilo, we went on the search for a hidden bar called the Hidden Nene. And it was in that building there. As you go down those steps, that is where we found a place called the Hidden Nene. Here is the address in case you want to visit. Once you head down the stairs and through the door at the bottom of the stairs, you'll find this wonderful hidden speakeasy that is a gem of Hilo. So as we entered the place, it's small. It's about 25, seating for 25 people, but very well appointed, very well done. And it comes complete with the bartender that makes his own craft cocktails. As you can see on the bar, there's plenty of fresh herbs and spices, made everything fresh daily. This is the gentleman there, and he crafted our cocktails. We had a nice charcuterie board along with some poke, and these are the beverages he made for us. These are just simply a old-fashioned, their style. After we finished our drinks, we headed on out and up the hill to a beautiful place called Lovallo Chocolate Farm. Here we got to take a guided tour in those oversized golf carts. We got to see the chocolate pods on the tree and even got to sample some in the raw. Fortunately, at the end, we got to sample the real deal. Well, it's back to the ship for us, getting ready to set sail back to the States. So that could only mean one thing. It's time for another cocktail. This time, we're having the Mac Low Manhattans, made with Mac Low rye. It's a special rye that they have on board the Princess ships. If you get a chance to try it, I highly recommend it. So everyone's in bed, the halls are empty, and away we sail back into the sunset. So we have to say goodbye to Hawaii for now. We hope that you enjoyed a little snippet of our trip. Until next time.
Cruising for a boozing, we're shaking up fun. From the tiki bar to the pool deck, we're second to none.